Hi, welcome to Invoking Possibility. I want to talk briefly today about dreams and goals and manifesting our deepest desires. I spent the weekend in a retreat facilitated by the absolutely amazing Reverend Debbie Brown. And something came up for another person in the group. There were only 6 of us, as well as Debbie. And it was just a facilitating of healing and just amazingness, just lusciousness is what it was. But something came up for someone else, and it pertained to me as well. And it reminded me of a riddle that my very dear friend and business partner told me about a year and a half ago. And that was, if there are 6 frogs sitting on a lily pad and one decides to jump off, how many are left? Most of us would probably say 5. I did. The answer is actually 6. And the reason for that is because just because a frog decides to jump off a lily pad doesn't mean he is jumping off a lily pad. And ever since he told me that riddle, I'm sure he's tired of it because I use it all the time. I'm jumping off the lily pad, I tell him all the time. And how relevant is it? It is for me. A good real life example, in my opinion, is how many of us decide we want to have children and we decide that we're going to do it, but we need to wait until we have the right house, we have a certain amount of money in savings, and we have a husband. And we talk about it, and it takes us forever to do it. For me, it comes up in my career. I don't think it's a huge secret that I want to really transition into my life coaching business and more healing modalities. That's where my true passion is. And I talk about it, and I talk about it, and I talk about it, and I plan for it, but I'm not doing it. I haven't done it. And there comes a time where you just have to jump off the cliff. And that was the words, those were the words that Debbie used, and it's the same as jumping off a lily pad. Cliff is a little more scary, I think. It's a little bit further. But the point is that we all have dreams and we all have desires, and I often wonder how many of us have stayed on the path of what other people think we should do, or a career path that we're good at but don't necessarily think fulfills us. When I was in high school, I wanted to be a pastry chef. It was my dream. I was going to be a pastry chef. And then I realized that pastry chefs don't make any money unless you're an executive chef, and then you don't get to cook. And so I went into accounting, and here I am. I was really good at accounting, and so I've been in that kind of field forever, since high school. And it's become just a habit of, it's something I'm good at, it makes me money, and eventually I'll get to do my dream. Eventually I'll get to start my baklava business or draw or whatever it is. And I think that is so common, especially now with the economy and with the world in general, that we just do what we have to do to survive. And our dreams and our goals and the things that we're meant to do and the reasons that we were put here on this earth kind of get pushed to the wayside. And there is a huge lack of fulfillment in our hearts and in our souls. And for me, I've been talking about it for a while. I don't necessarily think that I'm where I need to be or where I want to be. And it's been a few weeks where I just short sales for me. That's what I do as my day job. And I couldn't do them anymore. And I just kept saying, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. And everybody, with exception of one of my partners, knew that I was done. And I was trying to figure out, how am I going to tell him, because we are partners and I want his business to succeed, and of course I don't want to leave him high and dry, and this is his business. And finally I was going to just tell him, because literally I realized how it was affecting me emotionally, spiritually, physically, medically. I just was angry all the time. So the same day that I decide that I'm going to tell him, he tells me he's thinking of changing his business, the format of his business, and it would change the way I do short sales. that I wouldn't be really doing short sales anymore. And it was like, oh, boy, did I manifest that. And it prevented me from having to be the one to say, I can't do this anymore. And made me realize that I could have just told him that, because that's the kind of relationship we have. Point being, it was that him being aware that I no longer wanted to do these short sales was that last step for me to say, okay, I am done, to jump off the lily pad, stop talking about being done, and being done. And now I can move on to different things, and I still can keep my day job, and I can do real estate because I enjoy it, and I can focus on my creativity, and I can focus on my coaching, and I can focus on Reiki, and I can focus on the things that fill up my soul. And I really feel like it may not be the best example for us to set for our future generations, to have instilled in them that your dreams don't matter and what you feel in your soul doesn't matter. You just have to make a paycheck. And I really also feel that a big part of where we are in our country right now and the angst and economy is because of that, because it's just been instilled in us that we need to make money, because we do, obviously, but that the things that we love and what we want to do don't matter because we don't get time off, and we don't, and even if when we do, we feel guilty because who's going to do our job, and we're working 20 hours a day, and it's become the norm, and it's become expected of us. So, in summary, I just want to say that it's one thing to talk about your dreams and your goals, and it's important to talk about your dreams and your goals, because that's a part of manifestation. And until you're willing to jump off the lily pad or jump off that cliff, those dreams can't fully manifest. And there's not the room for them to manifest if we're just bogged down by all this other stuff. So I want everyone and anyone who's watching this to know that your dreams do matter. And sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith and know that that dream that you have and that what you really want to do is what's supposed to be. And by taking that leap of faith, it can open up an entirely new world. And I believe that that can happen, and I'm manifesting that for myself, and I'm manifesting that for you as well. So go out there and fulfill your dreams. Thank you.